Kreature Korner. What's ghouling on, my funky fiends? It's me, you see, the Sultan of Scary, the Grand Duke of Spookers Bell. That's me. I don't know, that was kind of like a Humpty Dump style rhyme coming at you right off the top. I don't know, Burger King, something about that. In the bathroom. We have a new episode, it's a new week, and I'm glad to be back. I know we missed you last weekend, but we have been very busy this haunt season. So it's gearing up for October. It's the first weekend of the spooky season, and I am energized, my funky fiends. Feeling good and feeling fine. And the reason I'm feeling so good and so fine is because I'm sponsored by two different types of coffee today, both from Pedal Java. I don't know, they're not really two different types. They are two different types of coffee. One is an old friend, the Devil's Food. Ooh. That's right. And the new contender, the Triple X Espresso.
The things I'm gonna do for my country.
That's right. So, the Triple X Espresso and the Devil's Food have combined forces to help me concoct a creepy concoction of coffee known as the Sasquatch.
Hey y'all, it's coffee time. So today in our Halloween series, we're gonna make a Sasquatch. Watch. 6 ingredients: Ghirardelli chocolate, whipped cream, cold brew made with Devil's Food, milk, chocolate chips, and Triple X Espresso. Start with 1 ounce of your Ghirardelli chocolate in your cup. 3 ounces of Devil's Food cold brew in your cup. Stir, because you're not a lazy barista. 2 ounces of milk in your cup. Let's go to Spooky Town. Well, Blender Town. Oops, I almost forgot my chocolate chips. Dress your cup with your Ghirardelli. Pour your Sasquatch. Whipped cream volcano time. Leave it hollow in the middle. Little more chocolate because Sasquatch would want it. And now pour a single shot of Triple X Espresso into your Sasquatch. This frappe will put hair on your chest.
You can watch my video on me attempting to make the Sasquatch, but I promise you it's not as good. I promise. So, these are the 2 brews that you need, though, in order to make that happen, and you can get these both at pedaljava.com/beans. That's right. So, today also, if you've been tuning into what we've been doing over at the Creepy Knoxville page, I have been hosting a series of haunt reviews, post-haunt reviews, after we go through the spooky houses and things like that, and people scare me, and it's just a lot of fun. People enjoy watching me be afraid for some reason. I like it. And as much as I love haunted houses, I think my favorite part is how easy I am to scare. I'm actually incredible. Me and David were just hanging out at Screamville Haunted Attraction last weekend with our good friend Doug and John that works out there. I'm just walking around. We're trying to get some shots together and think up of some ideas for an upcoming project. And all of a sudden John just pops out of an air. He's like, "Bleh!" That's what I want, though. I want people to be like, whoa, yeah. They went, this isn't anything I've really seen before.
I really do think that bone match kind of paved the way for all these ideas.
For this to be able to work. So, yeah, that works so good! I was legit afraid. David had nerves of steel. He was not afraid at all. But me, no, I'm a huge chicken. But I love it. That's what makes it so much fun. And last weekend, I did Frightworks Haunted Attraction. This weekend, TBD. Who knows what's going to happen. But last weekend, yes, I did Frightworks Haunted House out there in Powell. And I'm going to tell you guys, great. I liked the outside ambience. I liked how safe, everyone this season, this haunt season is really having to adapt and come up with new ways to be able to stay open and stay safe. So a lot of places have implemented 6-foot distancing, limited groups, facial coverings required at all times while you're inside. All the haunt actors have masks on. A lot of them are no touch, obviously. So they've all found ways to incorporate masks and things while inside the haunt, and I think Frightworks, for my first one, they did an absolutely excellent job at that. The people that run Frightworks are extremely great people. They've worked very hard to bring this show to you this year, and I don't want to give any spoilers away or anything like that, but great just combination of animatronics and actors, like a healthy balance of those two things, as well as some great sets, some awesome scenery, some huge animatronics that are up in your face and coming at you. And Frightworks Haunted House is definitely one I recommend to go check out this haunt season, 100%, because I was like a lot. Like I'm not allowed to take video that, inside the haunt, obviously, because you don't want to give away things, but I was pretty spooked. I was not gonna lie, they got me quite a few times. I ran into some things, I made a fool of myself, and I came sprinting out into the parking lot afterwards. But like I said, I'm not going to tell you anything. You just need to go visit the lab for yourself down there at Frightworks Haunted House. Frightworks, thank you guys so much for having me. And Creepy Knoxville and me are going to keep teaming up with you to bring you all these creepy haunt reviews this haunt season. So, one more thing I want to announce before we get to our very special guest is the announcement of the return of Belloween. That's right.
Chris Belloween.
Going to be coming at you again, where 3 lucky winners will receive a prize pack from me in the mail, containing some various goods to get you ready this spooky season, and a handwritten note from me telling you exactly what I think of you. So this season, be sure to look out for the details on how to get entered into the
Chris Belloween
sweepstakes, so you can try to win one of my awesome Belloween packages. I'll look back at some of the, you can look back at some of the ones that came out last year. If so you choose, you can ask some of the winners from last year how grateful they were to receive the awesome box of spooky goodies that I sent out and the heartfelt note that I attached to it. I promise it's not mean at all, and it's very heartfelt. Promise. So, Roswell, without further ado, let's bring on our very, very special guest, who may also be getting a Belloween package just because he's so freaking cool. Rob Fenn, there we go, I gave it away. Rob Fenn, I hope you can celebrate Chris Belloween with me this year. But now, for an announcement for our guest, who I just announced, rock and roll photographer to the stars. He is a wizard behind the camera, much like my man David here, except he takes still photographies of things that move fast and quick and rock hard, like Mr. Rob Zombie here. He's one of the main photographers for Mr. Rob Zombie, Marilyn Manson, Alice Cooper, basically any rock and roll band you love, like Avenged Sevenfold in Linkin Park. He's working with them right now. He's touring all over the place with them, with Korn, with you're gonna hear all about it, okay? And he's about to release he is releasing a plant-based cookbook about eating vegan food and drinking bourbon. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So without further ado, my good friend, rock and roll photographer and awesome person, Rob Fenn. Hey, what's ghouling on, my funky fiends? It is I, the Grand Duke of Spook, Chris Bell, joined now by one of the greatest rock and roll photographers to ever walk the planet, my good friend, Mr. Rob Fenn. Rob, how you doing, buddy?
I'm well, and I owe you $20 for that gift. Appreciate that, man.
Hey, no problem, man. Your work speaks for itself. So, as I said, Mr. Fenn here is one of the best rock and roll photographers that I've ever seen. Works with some of my favorite people on the planet, like Mr. Rob Zombie back here, Marilyn Manson, Avenged Sevenfold. I mean, the list goes on and on. Hellstorm, like all my favorite bands, you work with them. So,
oh, cool.
So let's just jump right into it. Rob, how did you get started in this whole crazy photography business?
By accident, if you want the truth. I started off in radio and then got laid off in 2001, I believe.
Okay.
Bought a couple bars. You ever want to lose money, do that. And I was sitting there one day and I was just like, I'm over this shit. Can I say shit? Because like my mouth. Okay.
Oh, brother, let it fly. You're
I'm
good.
just making sure because you never know.
Oh no.
But so I wanted to get back in the music business, and I was going to start this magazine, an online magazine called The Other Side of Rock, and I wanted a radio station in it and a magazine, and this is when all the blogs and shit were coming out, and I wanted a real one. Like, I didn't want a MySpace page or some shit like that.
Right.
That's how fucking old I am. And so I needed 75 grand to do this. I was literally living in my parents' basement. So 75 grand was not in, not there, but I'd made all these relationships when I was in the radio business with the music business. And so I reached out to a friend and asked if I could get a photo pass to any of the shows they had coming up because I needed to do the website for the investors and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, right.
So he got me a pass to Disturbed and Seven Dust, and then the second one was to Avenged Sevenfold. And I'm friends with Seven Dust, so I was all stoked to go out and see him.
Right.
And I borrowed a camera from Amanda Chamberlain at the Tribune and had no fucking clue what I was doing. So I take this expensive camera and I'm in the photo pit and I'm dancing around thinking I know what I'm doing. I'm clicking the button and shit. I download the photos. And the worst photo you've ever seen on an iPhone taken at a concert was way better than the shit I took. I mean, I couldn't even tell, who was what. Like, it was all blurry lines, nothing in focus and shit. I'm like, fuck me. But I did like the access I had with that photo pass because I got the first 3 songs right up by the stage, and I was an Avenged Sevenfold fan. So I'm like, cool. So I roll up in there. And Papa Roach was opening up for him.
Cool.
Now, I didn't know how shit worked, so I figured my photo pass got me to do whatever the fuck I wanted, shoot every band.
I would have assumed that.
I'm just like, well, they're on tour together,
Sure.
And I don't know what was going on, and I hate telling this part of it because I don't want people to fucking think different because I don't know the full story, but Papa Roach was having... I don't know if it was a lawsuit or what the fuck was going on, but they weren't allowing photo passes because some photographer broke the rules. So they weren't being dicks; they were just not dealing with the shit.
Exactly.
I didn't know how that worked, and so I'm in there shooting, and they're all looking at me like, "Who the fuck's this guy?"
Right.
Tour manager comes out, and I'm sitting side stage, and I'm looking at the photos, and he's like, "Who the fuck are you?" What? And I show him my pass, and he's calling me every name in the book, which we're friends now, which is hilarious. I've toured with those guys a lot. So I erased the photos. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, this photography thing's bullshit. Like, fuck all of this. I don't want to do this. Yeah, it just was horrible. But I like Avenged Sevenfold, so I'm like, I'm going to go in. So I was only there for one song, and I couldn't just stand in there. So I was looking through the camera. If I saw something cool, I clicked the button. But I was watching the show through the fucking camera. And 2 weeks later, I looked at the pictures, and I seen this one of Brian Sinister, and I'm like, holy fuck, I did that. And then there was a few others, and I'm like, okay, fuck this whole magazine shit. I want to do this. Like, this is fucking rad. And long story short, 2 years later, I was on tour with Avenged Sevenfold, telling this long, drawn-out story that I just made your listeners sit through. And I show the picture to their tour manager, and he's like, oh, we know that picture. I'm like, fuck off. I mean, I put it up on Facebook once, and, come to find out, there was a girl in Texas that was getting a tattoo of Brian Sinister, and the tattoo artist was friends with Brian, so hit up Brian, do you have a picture we can use? So he Googled his name, found that picture, and so the first picture that got me into photography is running around on some chick somewhere in Texas because Brian picked it out in 2 years. Like, it's such a small, crazy world.
But what a cool story you have.
And that's how I got into it. I don't know how to run a camera. I don't know. Like, I never went to school for it. I still don't. I just figured out how to do it on my own. and whatever I'm doing is working because I, get to
Absolutely.
make a living at it. So I don't want to go to school. I don't want to know the proper way or the f-stops or any of that shit.
Heck no.
And I feel bad when people ask me and they're like, "Oh, he's just not telling us." It's like, I don't fucking know. Like I really don't. I know what I like. I know what I think looks good, and
Sure.
that's what I do. And so
And it's working great.
I'm enjoying it. Well, was enjoying it. It's kind of been put on hold this year.
Right. Big time. Everything has been happening.
Oh man, it's been a scary year because I was only supposed to be home 3 weeks this year.
Holy
I was supposed to tour with Ozzy and Manson, the Foos and Guns N' Roses and Pretty Reckless over in Europe, Breaking Benjamin. Like I had all this shit, and I got home off the Korn Breaking Ben tour, and within a week, nothing, and was in my house for 45 days.
Oh, no.
And yeah, it's tough for the music business right now. I got a lot of friends, roadies that are,
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
they've been doing this shit for 20 years, and now nothing. Like it'll be nice when it comes back. I just don't see it coming back anytime soon, unfortunately.
Right. I mean, I know some of these people are trying to pull off like the drive-in concerts and stuff like that, but
Yeah, and the live streaming, and
Yeah.
I got a film project that if this was a couple weeks later on this interview, I could tell you. But so there's a lot of stuff going on that way, but like the big touring, it's not. I don't see it happening.
right.
Because one asshole gets COVID, they're going to sue, and it's going to be the same asshole that wouldn't wear a fucking mask. And,
Absolutely.
fuck your politics and all that kind of shit. It's
Yeah.
humanity.
Exactly.
It's when a doctor tells you to do something, fucking do it. It's not a
do it.
conspiracy
Like,
theory.
you went to school a lot longer to learn this than you did.
Yeah.
It's like-
Exactly. I don't want to learn from the guy wearing his sunglasses in the fucking car on his Facebook live stream. And that's who you're taking advice from? Come on. Research some shit. Like, I don't know. When I'm the moral one, you're all fucked, basically. So that's what I'm just like, really? I'm supposed to be the dumbass. I don't know. But
Hey,
it is what it is.
a lot of things are happening this year. So.
The sad thing is it's been a crazy year, and I didn't tour, but it's been one of the best years I've had. I finally had time to do shit that I always said I can't do because I don't have time.
Absolutely.
I've been going through all the photos from the past 10 years, and I forgot some of the shows I shot. Like there was this one in Barcelona, Spain with Zombie, that
Yes.
this tiny little club, and they were so off the hook. Like their fans out there are insane. And
I bet.
the night before, him and Sherry got an award from the city for Devil's Rejects, and I remember getting to watch the Devil's Rejects by myself in this theater because they had to test it to make sure it was there.
Yeah.
This empty, cool theater, and then I got to watch it with Rob and Sherry and everyone when the whole town showed up. Like it just. So it's been cool to go back to all that stuff and remember all this cool, crazy shit.
Because you're constantly on the move so much normally. But like you said, you were only supposed to be home for like 3 weeks this year. And I know you
now I'm home.
Right, yeah, now a little bit longer than that.
It's been good though.
Oh yeah. So I know you said you work with Zombie. Is that who you work with the most, or who's your favorite person to run around?
Oh, Jesus, that's like asking who's your favorite kid.
Right.
That'd be my dog Bella. I'm very fortunate that I get to work with people that actually are friends and turn into friendships and stuff.
Right.
It's Zombie and me work really well together. His shows as a photographer,
Yes.
it's the dream job because it's not scripted. He's not one of those, there's some bands out there that they do the same fucking thing all the time, and good on them. Like, that's it. But Zombie's a fucking squirrel on that stage. You can't even keep up with him. And the show, whether we're doing like that place in Spain was tiny, and we've done the 930 Club in DC, and it's still just fucking rad. So yeah, Zombies. I don't want to say my favorite because like I get to work like the Manson show. We just done that tour last fall that was fucking epic, and his new album. Oh my God, his new album's so good.
Yes. Super good.
I got to hear a few songs on that tour like Broken Needle and We Are Chaos, and the whole thing, getting to hear it now, it hasn't left my turntable. Like, I just can't stop listening to it. It gets better with every spin. I've done the Alice Cooper cover, the two-headed one.
Yes.
And I shot that in Birmingham, Alabama at a hotel. And it was one of the funnest shoots I've ever done. Coop's the greatest. Like, I love that fucking guy. He's fucking Alice Cooper.
And it's so nice to hear that, too, that you're not a fucking asshole.
No, and that's what I've been lucky is, like, the people I've worked with, because I won't work with someone I can't get along with. Because I've tried shooting a few, not necessarily music things, but, like, if I'm not passionate about it, you can tell.
Sure.
The photos, well, at least to me, I don't know if anyone else can tell and shit, but they're just not there. So that I try to pair myself with things that I actually like and enjoy. And when I'm on tour, I won't shoot the whole show. I take one song and put the camera down and watch the show.
See.
And I do that different every night, but I at least pick one song that I get to be a fan, because I am a fan. I'm an uber fucking fan. I just happen to have a all access pass, which is kind of cool.
And you're friends with all of them too.
I hope so. You know, if not, they fake it really well and put up with my ass and ask me to come back. So, you know, I think that's the key. Is they know that it's the relationships, because they know I'm not going to put photos out. My one job's to make them cooler than they are. That's my only job, you know, like, and when I see photos go out and shit like that, it's like, why would you even release that? You know, I've never understood that shit. Yeah. So I think that's how it's built. It's a lot of trust, you know. I shoot for a lot of guys that don't let people shoot them, you know. Zombie never had anyone on tour shooting.
I was going to say, I don't see a lot of people that work with Rob's, especially not as closely as you do. And
I think I'm the first photographer that's, you know, toured. I've been doing it, since 2013, so 7 years.
Wow.
Oh, shit, getting old. And stuff. And like Manson, he, you know, I don't think concert photography-wise, he has too many people out there and stuff. And
no.
It's been great. Like that, I love Manson to death. He's such a creative genius. Like it's nuts.
Absolutely.
It's cool that's what I love about people is, to get to do what I do, I get to be around all these people that are just. It's not just intelligence; it's the creativity. It's and the crazy, and it's all works together. You know.
Yes. And they pull it off really well. I mean, I know Zombie's favorite people to see live. That hands down, absolutely. And knowing that you follow him all over the place, like.
Try to. Like I said, he's the squirrel up there, and the dude's always moving.
Well, you are too, though. You've got a lot of things going on outside of photography, too. I know the last time we spoke, you had another shop going on, but now you've opened up something completely new. So tell us about that.
I used to own a shop called Cut and Scratch, and it was a barber shop, coffee shop, record shop, because since I was a kid, I wanted a record store. I've always loved music, and they just don't make any money now. Like, they're just not viable. And sitting there drinking one day, and that usually is how half of my shit comes up. Functioning alcoholic, I guess. And I realized that you can't download a haircut on Amazon. Like, that you still have to go in, you know? And I'm like, fuck me. Put a couple barber chairs in the record store, done. And I love coffee, so I wanted a coffee shop in there just to get the coffee wholesale. I was one of Death Wish Coffee's first wholesale people.
Yes.
Like, it was crazy. So I just sold that in March, right before all the shit went to shit.
Wow.
And I was planning on putting the new one in downtown Salt Lake. So I now live downtown Salt Lake, and I just didn't want to drive back and forth and all that.
Sure.
So I sold it to the head barber at my old shop, and he's killing it down there with that. And I'm opening a new one that was going to open in March, but due to COVID and all the crazy, we're opening, it looks like October. So we're finally, instead of waiting on my bullshit, it's just the construction people are almost done with the inside. And It's called Memento Mori, so it's just a barbershop record shop, and it's downtown Salt Lake. We're stoked. And it's just, you know, it's a place where Johnny Cash can get a haircut, Elton John rolling through some records, and Rakowski and Edgar Allan Poe bitching at each other over a pool game. You know, that's the vibe, and it's great, and I love it.
And see, I feel like only someone like you could pull off all of that encompassed into one thing.
I just wanted all the shit that I like, and it's basically like having a man cave, but making money with it, so I don't have to pay for it. And that's kind of how my brain works, I guess.
That's smart, though. That's really smart. You do what you know.
Yeah.
So
do what you love.
Exactly. So speaking of doing the things you love, you are a big vegan advocate like myself, and you have.
I don't know if I'm an advocate. I'll be honest. I'm 100% vegan.
Yeah.
But I'm a firm believer. Eat what makes you feel good.
Absolutely.
Like, plus, I don't want all you motherfuckers eating all my plants. So
Yeah.
you keep eating your meat. I'm fine with it.
Right, I'm not here to preach to you. Just want you to be happy.
Yeah.
But you just wrote this awesome plant-based recipe book. Is that right?
It is, and that was, like my photography, a complete fucking accident. I've always been like 70% vegan, but Rob and Sherry's, ever since I've known them, been vegan. They're going on over a decade. They're never sick. They don't look their age. They're, you know, like I said, he's 55. He's running around that fucking stage like a squirrel.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, and with everything I had going on, I'm like, if I get sick, I got employees that rely on me, you know. So that's scary and sucks. And
right.
So I gave myself 60 days. I talked to Rob and Sherry, and they helped me out on what to eat, what not, and all that. Because just being vegan doesn't, you know, Oreos are vegan. That's not fucking healthy. And
right. Absolutely.
all of that. And so I tried it for 60 days. I lost 30 pounds. My sex drive was out of the fucking roof. I feel like I'm in my 20s. I'm 47 years old. I get why all these crazy vegans try to tell everyone how great it is, because you feel good, you know.
Right.
And I passed the 60 days and didn't even think twice about it. And I honestly, like, my mind's clear.
Yeah.
There's something to it, but I eat organic, healthy vegan.
Absolutely.
I don't eat, you know, no soda pop and shit like that. I drink like a fish, you know. Thank God bourbon is vegan, because then, you know, I would not be vegan if it wasn't. But, you know, and I still like the dairy. I just, you know, I never touched that even before I was vegan.
Okay.
But so I started doing it, and then when quarantine happened, I was cooking a lot.
Right.
And then I was posting photos on Instagram and shit like that, and my poor followers and friends and stuff fucking had to put up with it. And I started wanting to make stuff that I missed having, like steak and chicken and stuff like that. But I mean, there's the processed stuff that you can buy, you know, the Beyond Burgers and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, that can't be good for you. Like, it's like eating a McDonald's chicken nugget, you know?
Yes.
And so I just started creating stuff out of vegetables. And like the fried chicken, I had friends that are full-on meat eaters that love my fried chicken. I just don't tell people what it is when they come over.
See,
and we started doing it, and then I sat there one day and I'm like, God, I should do a cookbook, because everybody was hitting me up for recipes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just don't want, you know, I'm like, I just didn't want to take the fucking time to email people back with it, to be honest with you. And so I started writing them down, and my grandma had been cooking forever and stuff, and
yes,
I just done what she done, you know. It started jotting the shit down, and one thing led to another, and it's 232 pages, and it's all about bourbon and vegan food, and it's not pushing the vegan thing on there. Like, you can take the recipes and put a hamburger patty instead of the Beyond Burger, all that. But the other thing we did on it, we kind of revamped it at the end, because these recipes take forever to do. Like, making the steak is not an easy fucking process. And I'm like, no one's got 3 hours to sit here every goddamn day. So we done a quick and easy section as well, because
Oh, cool.
I started getting a bunch of people just hitting me up on how to go vegan.
Right.
And so there's a whole section in there that just shows you, you know, like the trash pan of burger is one of my favorite things, and it takes 15 minutes to make.
Oh, neat.
And then I discovered the air fryer thing for French fries. Holy fuck, that's a game changer.
Big time. God,
Yeah, I was love that thing. It's so good. But yeah, so the cookbook's released November 30th. The pre-orders, we done a limited edition run of the hardback, and they're hand signed and numbered, and they're on track to sell out, which is blowing my fucking mind that I'm already talking to the press to do a whole nother run. Yeah, it's crazy. And
That's awesome.
we're selling all over the world. Like Australia bought some today. Zurich was yesterday. A couple in Japan. Like it's fucking nuts. But food brings everyone together, and then plus I get bourbon out of it. You know, that's the greatest. Is like Metallica's whiskey, Blacken's in the book. Bob Dylan's bourbon is, and that thing is one of my top 5 favorite bourbons. Like, it's so good. Because I've always loved the history of bourbon. Like, it's so old school and so tied to the country. Like, it's always been around. And like the Four Roses story's amazing. The dude started the whole bourbon company to get laid, basically. You should check out the story. It's, you know, everybody's got a story, and it's always interesting to me.
Right.
Shit. So that's how that came about. Pure accident. Like, just.
So, but that's awesome.
Left me in my house for too fucking long and didn't go nowhere.
Like, I gotta do something.
Now I'm a chef. It's crazy.
That's great. And you know what better dietary vegan coach than Rob and Sherry Moo Zombie? I guess that's.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Can't get any better than that.
This sucks.
Oh, Rob Fenn, you know what that sound means, right?
Not a clue.
Absolutely. It is time for America's favorite mini game show inspired by Rob Fenn, Rocks or Fucking Sucks. So, Rob, I'm going to show you a collection of pictures. And when I show you the picture, you tell me if it rocks or is rocks or if it fucking sucks, okay?
Okay.
All right. If you win this, you're going to win a big prize, okay?
I'm looking forward to it.
All right. And here we go, Rob Fenn.
Rocks.
Rocks, absolutely. Winner on that one. Let's see.
Rocks.
Yeah. Here we go. We also would have accepted fucking sucks for that one. It's okay. What is this?
Oh, that rocks too. And
Yes.
the rocks.
They are rocks. Absolutely, Rob Fenn. Let's see here. Oh. Early 1990s Limp Bizkit.
Oh God. That rocks.
Yes, it
I love Wes. I can't say anything else.
See that? Aha! I had to make someone admit that they do enjoy Limp Bizkit like I do. It's fine. What is this? A Dyson vacuum cleaner.
Oh, that fucking sucks.
Yes, it does. I also would have accepted rocks. All right, here we have Kim and Kanye.
I can't see it.
Oh no, it's Kanye West and Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, I got my eyes closed. I can't see it.
And that is correct.
Fucking crazy is what that is.
Crazy. Here we have, John 5.
Oh, definitely rocks. Oh God, I forgot about that. It's Casper, Wyoming.
And
oh, what a night.
Last one, Rob Fenn. Smash Mouth.
I love Smash Mouth.
Yes.
I really do. I ain't gonna lie.
Going with rock?
You know, I'm going with rocks.
Yes.
And I liked them before Shrek, so you know. But remember, I'm fucking old.
So we're gonna check the score. Yes, Rob Fenn, you got all of them right. Absolutely correct. Let's show them what we won. You won this picture of the original cast of the Little Rascals.
Oh, hell yeah, I love the Real Rascals.
So, Rob Fenn, we're going to get this sent out to you. So before we do all that, tell the people where they can find you and where they need to look you up.
You can find everything at robfenn.com, ROBFENN.com.
Yes, and that's all you need to know. Rob Fenn is a fantastic human being and an even better photographer. Rob, thank you so much for being here with us today. I've had such a good time sitting down with you.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you.
No problem. And until the next time, Rob Fenn, we will see you then.
Whew. Well, I know I always love getting to sit down with these people, and I hope Rob Fenn loves his, photo of the original cast of The Little Rascals. That's going right out to you, Rob. Nyah! Because you won, and I'm proud of you. Who would have thought that Rob Fenn would be so cool with me installing speakers in his house against his knowing, so that my game show theme music could play in his house. He's a really cool guy. Thanks, Rob. And you got to check out his book. You got to check out all the things that he's doing. Just go to Rob Fenn. Just go to Rob Fenn on Facebook and follow all the things that he's doing. Because Rob is one of my good buddies now, and I can't wait to see what he does next. I mean, he's had all this time in quarantine to go crazy like the rest of us, so people like him just create more and more and more and more. So I can't wait to see all the other things that are about to come out of Rob Fenn. But thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Kreature Korner. We're hitting our stride with these things, you know? We're going to start bringing you some haunt reviews. We're going to be doing something different on almost every episode, it seems like. And I still get to bring you celebrity interviews. So, there's only one thing left to say, and that's... Creep those eyes peeled, my funky fiends. Because there's always more coffee and more creepy ghouling on in the Kreature Korner. Bye-bye. I just want to thank you all so much for tuning into these videos. I had a lot of fun making them, so I hope you enjoy watching them. I definitely could not do any of this on my own, though, so I have a lot of people that help me, and I'd like to give a little shout out to all those people that do help me. Mr. David Cunningham, first and foremost, for editing and filming all of these videos. Like I said, couldn't do it without him. As well as all our other wonderful sponsors who help make this show possible, like, of course, Petal Java, who provides us with all our delicious coffee that we get to try out every week, and I hope a lot of you are trying out for yourself as well. Go over to petaljava.com right now, order up your beans. It's a great price on a gourmet bag of coffee, and also, if you live in the Knoxville area or surrounding areas, they do free local delivery, so you can't miss out. Once again, that's petaljava.com. Go over there right now. Order some of your beans. GOBLINHAUS. Get on over to GOBLINHAUS.com. Give him a follow on Facebook for all of your horror merchandising needs. He has all kinds of spooky t-shirts featuring some of your favorite horror icons and his own twists and his own art. He's got vintage toys. He's got toys that look vintage. He's got horror patches, horror t-shirts, horror hats, anything you could possibly imagine, you can get over there at GOBLINHAUS.com. The Mystic Orb in Clinton, Tennessee. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram, as well as their Etsy shop. They are here to fulfill all your gemstone jewelry, herbal baths and teas, and any kind of cool witchy thing that you could possibly desire. They've also got a pretty cute cat down there named Harriet, so be sure to come out to Clinton and check out the shop for yourself. Screamville Haunted Attraction. That's right, our good friends over at Screamville are always in for a spooky good time. So this haunt season, be sure you get out to Knoxville and check out Screamville. Speaking of haunted attractions, if you're out in Oneida, be sure to stop off at Outbreak on Main. Also owned by the people who own the Black Cat, also in Oneida. As a matter of fact, that haunt is right in the back of their shop. So you can do a little bit of shopping and you can do a little bit of getting spooked out there at the Black Cat and Outbreak on Main. And last but not least, H3 Power TV, your veteran-owned internet entertainment consultant. For just $20 a month, you can have access to thousands and thousands of live TV channels, international TV channels, movies, and sports. All you have to do is call 865-314-0624 to find out exactly how to get hooked up with H3 Power TV. Works with almost all smart TVs and smart devices,
You put it right there on your phone or tablet, and you can broadcast it to your TV with all those channels, movies, and sports stuff like I said. So once more, just call 865-314-0624 to find out exactly what you have to do to get H3 Power TV. And as always, keep those eyes peeled, my funky fiends, because there's always more coffee and more creepy ghouling on in the Kreature Corner. Bye-bye.